Hello, dear students and parents. Welcome back to TES Europe EduNet and PMTV Study in Europe. I am Dr. Titty Varghese, official educational consultant for Indian students to study in Lithuanian public and private universities. Today is December 4, 2025, and I am at SMK University of Applied Sciences at Vilnius in Lithuania. Vilnius is the capital city of Lithuania. Lithuania is a European Union country. You are already very familiar with me, and I'm working with Indian students for many years, and I would like to inform you that the application for 2026 September intake has begun for almost all the universities. You can see the given WhatsApp number. You can contact me directly for the admission. We will be able to guide you very properly. And now I would like to seek your attention if you would like to study at SMK University in Lithuania. We have different branches across Lithuania. So today I have our dearest colleague here from SMK University. I would like to welcome you, with pleasure, and you can introduce yourself, and then we will go with the flow of the questions because we have different variety of programs at SMK University, and there are new regulations and policies, and I think our students really would like to get to know the information directly from us.
Okay, thank you very much for having me today. My name is Emilia Vanzlauskaite. I work in the admissions office of SMK, and I work with the admission of international students to the business programs. So I take their interviews and also help out during their admission process.
Okay, so could you please introduce a little bit about SMK University? Of course, we were giving details for my students for years, but still every year we do have updations. And could you please talk a little bit about SMK University and the different programs that we are offering for 2026 September intake, and the regulations, eligibility criteria, things like that. So maybe let's start with the brief interview or overview about SMK University.
Yeah, so we are our largest private college in Lithuania. And we've been working for more than 30 years. We have quite a lot of Lithuanian students and a very big community of international students as well, many of them from India. So we used to offer 14 English language study programs for international students, but this intake we have added some more, so now there are 17 of them. Most of them are in the business field or management field, so you have international business, one of our most popular programs, also future business and artificial intelligence, some other programs, and the newest additions are event management, organizational resilience and innovation, and also project management. So these are all new programs. We also have some programs in IT, so we have programming, also computer games and animation, and latest addition, cybersecurity and information program. Also, we offer two programs in the health sciences field, so we have aesthetic cosmetology and also general practice nursing. Also, we have digital communication, marketing. So this is the basic overview of our studies.
I think most of the time students from my side, my students, they are actually coming to study bachelors in international business most of the time. Dear students, as you can see, I would like to mention the programs once again. We have a very specific fields such as business management, digital marketing, international communication, and also IT programs, multimedia. Then we have cosmetology. Also, we have nursing programs. So, dear students and parents, if you would like to study any of these programs from 2026 September onwards, feel free to contact us directly in the given WhatsApp number. I am official educational consultant, or not a sub-agent or someone like that. So you can contact me directly, and we will be communicating with the student and university directly, because there is no other intermediary person between me, student, and you. why I am stressing this point is that sometimes, some people will say that, they are my sub-agents, but I don't have anyone. So, dear students and parents, please take care about this matter. Now, let's focus on the main important eligibility criteria to study Bachelor's at SMK University from 2026 September intake. Emilia, could you please tell me about the main eligibility criteria, about the language proficiency, and about the specific criteria to study nursing programs?
So all of our international students must have finished their high school education, so 12 grades, and in their exams they should have a general result of more than 50%. And then we also require them to have passed English with at least 50% result. That is for all the programs. And the other subject requirements will depend on the program. So for example, for the business programs, they would have to have passed mathematics, or maybe we could take economics or statistics.
Accountancy.
Yes, of course. So similar subjects to mathematics, that would be for the business programs. And for example, for nursing, that would be biology, that second required subject. And for the English, they also must have English proficiency of B2 level. So we have a list of specific international tests that we take, the results such as IELTS, TOEFL, and others. Also important to note that for students who have had their previous education fully in English, their proof of English proficiency would be their medium of instruction certificate. So they can just submit that, and that would be considered their proof of English proficiency.
So, which means that because for all these past years we were submitting medium of instruction letter from their 12th grade, so that we will be able to submit the application directly to the university without taking any IELTS or Duolingo or TOEFL exam.
Yes, exactly.
This time also we can submit the medium of instruction. Minimum eligibility is 50%, but dear students and parents, please make sure that you have really good proficiency in English as well as you have really good motivation. This is very important.
Yes, of course, that's important, because we, of course, check the subject requirements for each student, whether they meet them or not. But if they do, then we invite them for a short motivational interview to see whether they are actually motivated to join their study program, whether they can express themselves in English well enough, and whether they are prepared to move to another country and study abroad.
Very good. Thank you, Emilia, for the answer. Now, I think we can go to the third question. Could you please give a little bit information about what are the important questions or suggestions that you are expecting from a student during the motivation interview, and approximately how many minutes this may last, and is it online and by Skype or Teams? Could you please give a detailed instructions about the interview?
Yeah, so we organize our interviews on Google Meets at the moment, and students receive a link with a specific calendar of the officer that is responsible for their study program, so they can find a time that is suitable for them and just book the interview time. And interviews typically last 15 minutes. That is the baseline. It could be a little less or a little more, but generally it is a 15-minute long interview. So, like I said, we want to make sure that the person is really motivated to study, specifically that study program, and they have a strong motivation, to move across the world, to study in a different country. Of course, that might be a challenging thing as well for young people. So we want to make sure that they are prepared to face those challenges that come with moving abroad. They know something about the country that they're coming to, the culture that they will have to get accustomed to. So we sort of try to evaluate their general preparedness and motivation.
And also you will be asking certain things about their family background or financial background.
No, not really. Financial background is important when it comes to the migration procedures, to make sure that the person has the sufficient funds to live in Lithuania. So the migration department, when they evaluate your application, they will take into consideration and they will need to see proof of funds. We also require students to provide that for us just to make sure. But during the interview, we don't really focus on the family background or money questions, just general sort of personal motivation and preparedness of the applicant.
And the interview is usually organized by you, and then somebody from the concerned department will be sitting for the interview, or it's just you?
Yeah, it's us admission officers. We have each officer has certain study programs that they're overlooking. So we are interviewing students just based on that.
Okay. And for the interview, the student must have an awareness about their subjects and their modules and the contents, and maybe why do they exactly want to study that particular program is also important to know, yes, from our side.
Of course. If we see that the applicant really did their research about the study program and they know what kind of subject they will study, then of course it shows us that the person is motivated as well. But generally we don't expect expert knowledge in the field, of course, but just, you know, if an applicant says that they are interested in business, for example, so we might question why or how does that interest manifest. You know, we sort of try to get the general idea. But of course, I would also like to say that sometimes our applicants are very well prepared for the interviews, and it seems like they're a bit too well prepared because they're giving sort of rehearsed answers. So I would like to say that it would be best if you could speak naturally, you know, on the spot, because if a person is just giving rehearsed answers, it is hard for us to evaluate, you know, how much they really know and can speak
and their
about
language
themselves.
proficiency.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So, dear students and parents, we would like to inform you that these are the main important things that a university admission officer will be asking to you during the interview. But basically, it is to evaluate your language proficiency and to evaluate how motivated you are, and also to check if you are a genuine student, and also to know that you will be able to adapt to the Lithuanian community, to Lithuanian culture, things like that. So please make sure that you are spontaneous. You will be able to answer the questions in a very spontaneous way, not just by hearting everything from the internet or by training, maybe by consultants, but it's not going to work like that. You need to be very well prepared. At the same time, you are supposed to explain everything by yourself, okay? So please take care about all these aspects. For that, you need to have really good English language proficiency. Otherwise, people or students may get stuck in between if they are by hearting everything and then expect the university officials to ask the questions 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So please don't do that, okay? Thank you. And now let's move on with the next important information. Could you please explain about the main application deadline, and especially since I am dealing with Indian students, we would like to inform you that the 12th exam will be happening only by the month of May. Okay, and the result will be announced by the month of May end usually, and then the students will be able to get their 12th certificate only by the month of June end. So in that case, how we are supposed to proceed with the application, and can you please tell me if the application has started already right now, and when is the deadline, and how we will be able to tackle these practical things?
Yeah, so for the fall semester, the application period has already started. It started on the 2nd of December, and the deadline is the 1st of July. So up until the 1st of July, you can submit applications. And as for the exams, well, like I said, you can submit applications until July if you already have your results. Now, if you don't have your diploma yet, but you have some kind of provisional marks, is that ever the case?
No, because when it comes to the 12th students, because since we are dealing only with the bachelor's subjects, we need to give the 10th and 12th degree, 12th grade certificate. So the students will have only 11th grade certificate. And in other universities, what they are actually doing is that they will collect the 11th grade certificate and the marks, and if they did their studies from CBSE. Which means Central Board of Examination. And they will then requested us to provide the predicted score. So based on the 11th grade, the predicted score will be saying that, okay, in the 12th, they will get, let's say, 70 percentage or maybe 80 percentage or 65 percentage. So with that certificate, we will be able to proceed the application. And once the student pass the exam in the month of May, by June they will get the certificate, and then we will be able to provide all the final original certificates to the university and then send for the apostillation, things like that. So this is a procedure.
Okay, I see. Well, for us, we take into consideration the 12th grade result. So we don't have this practice of accepting predicted scores. So if the applicants can wait until they have their results, if they apply, well, they could submit their application before having the results, but we would accept the application and sort of put it on hold until we are able to see the results, because the first step of processing the application is checking whether the applicants meet the requirements, the subject requirements. So we would have to see the 12th grade certificate to be able to proceed with the application.
So, which means that, dear students and parents, those who had already passed their 12th exam in the last year, if you are still looking to study bachelors at European universities, especially to Lithuanian University, to SMK, in the given subjects like marketing or business or management or IT or artificial intelligence or nursing, then you will be able to apply right now itself. Now, about the student who would like to apply after getting the 12th exam result, please note that the deadline is 1 July.
Yes, exactly.
So that could be a little bit, delayed for our case. And anyway, I think we can discuss about this matter with the concerned officials also, and I can explain the situation, because
of course,
other universities, they have their system. Maybe we can also think about that possibility.
Okay, we can.
Yeah. So anyway, the students who would like to apply right now, if you have 12th certificate grades with the original certificate with you right now, you can actually start the application through me right now itself. Please don't hesitate to contact me directly in the given WhatsApp number. From December 2, 2025 till 1 July 2026, SMK University will be accepting your application to study various bachelor's and bachelor's programs at SMK University in Vilnius. Of course, we have different other branches. So now could you please explain about the different branches, because right now we are sitting at Vilnius, the capital city main building. Maybe we can talk about the rest of the places also.
Yeah, so we have 3 campuses in Vilnius, Kaunas and Klaipėda. So these are the 3 major cities of Lithuania. Vilnius being the capital, it's the biggest, and among our students it is also the most popular destination. A lot of our international students are here in Vilnius, but we also are looking into and would like to have more international students in our other campuses. So in Kaunas and Klaipėda. Kaunas, the second largest city of Lithuania, it is a very, I would say, full of students and international students.
Yes, I also live in Kaunas.
Yeah, so it's definitely suited for international students. And Klaipėda as well, it is our port city by the sea. So those options perhaps would be more convenient, more of an experience of living in a smaller city perhaps than Vilnius. But generally, all of our campuses have all the facilities there. So Kaunas and Klaipėda are definitely up to par with Vilnius. And for certain study programs, of course, we always look into how many students we are having and which groups we can start and which ones we can't. And we will see perhaps some study programs will start only in Kaunas or only in Klaipėda. So we will see how this goes.
So basically we have Vilnius, Kaunas and Klaipėda. To each places we have all the same facilities, and also depending on the programs the faculty will be in different places. But the university is same as SMK.
Yes.
And could you please explain now about the dormitory facility or accommodation facility for our international students?
So we do not have a dormitory right on campus like maybe some universities do. But we do have a lot of partner organizations such as hostels, hotels, co-living projects that we partner with, and they prioritize our students. We have several facilities that operate as our dormitories, so they prioritize our students and provide accommodation for them. So the students must look for the accommodation themselves. We do not make bookings for them, but we are just able to provide the contact details of all of our partner organizations so that they could hopefully find accommodation more easy.
And I think I was visiting Koshut facility before, I think 1 year ago or something like that. And in Koshut also, SMK University students were able to get the priority. And dear students and parents, please note that at SMK we do not have a dormitory or hostel facility for international students. However, the university do have really good collaboration with other accommodation providers, and you will be able to get the accommodation and you can rent by yourself and or with your friends, those who are coming together. So it is working like that. And Vilnius is a capital city, and it is possible to find accommodation in different places of Vilnius. Not only in Vilnius, in Kaunas and Klaipėda also you can do the same. Then we have kosher living area, which is actually like a building in which different university students or maybe working people are living together, and you can book the accommodation there also. But I would personally say that the kosher facility was really good. But maybe it's a little bit expensive for students, than the dormitory. But usually in here, depending on the students, the living cost is really different. But during the winter time, you may need to pay for the taxes such as heating, water, electricity and gas, things like that. But I will gather the information from my students who are already studying at SMK University about their living and their how much money do they need to pay per month for the rent and then for food and for traveling, things like that. But as a student, you will be able to get 50% of the discount for traveling in the transport, in the public transport. So that's a very good, important aspect of being an international student at Lithuania. Now, could you please tell me about the main, of course, we have discussed about the eligibility for students, but do we have any specific age limitation to study bachelors?
No, there are no age limitations, but we do have a 7-year study gap rule. So if someone has finished their high school a long time ago and longer than 7 years ago, then we would look into their other formal education that maybe they've had if they studied in a university, college, or any vocational facility, just any formal education that they've had that would be able to close that 7-year gap.
So 7 years gap is the main important thing that you are evaluating, and this is an important question usually I'm used to get from my students or parents. For example, let's say if there is a student who would like to study general nursing and he or she do have 7 years of gap, well, let's say 5 years or 6 years, and then if they go for the temporary residence permit at the migration department, since there is this gap, do you think that the migration department will reject their application? Because this is a common question that I'm getting from students.
Well, that shouldn't be the case, really, because well, the migration department also evaluates the motivation of a person coming to study, so they can be a bit strict with that. So perhaps I could imagine that if a person is older and they have graduated a longer time ago, maybe the migration department could have their suspicions to think whether this person really wants to study or perhaps just work. Yes, exactly. So that is definitely not any kind of official rule or anything like that, but maybe it is worth just knowing your motivation and being able to express it very clearly to the migration department.
So I think in this case, let's say the maximum age is 25, maybe, because in India, if a student is passing out from the 12th grade, usually they are 17.5 or 18 and plus 7 years. So it is like 25 maximum. Yes?
Yeah, could be. Well, unless for us, again, if they have studied somewhere else, university or anything like that, then we could accept them.
Even if they are 28 or 29?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, this is the main answer for your question. It's a clarification. And now, when it comes to the Lithuanian language and work requirement, dear students and parents, you do definitely have certain doubts in relation with the Lithuanian language proficiency. Could you please explain if a student would like to work in Lithuania during their studies, what is the regulation? And I saw that from January onwards, there is some new regulation coming, especially in terms of, service sectors like Bolt or Volt or things like that. It is, required for students to, or, anyone to have a basic Lithuanian language proficiency if they want to do the part-time job in Lithuania or any job in Lithuania.
Yeah, that is true. Well, especially, of course, for higher qualifications job, then Lithuanian would be very, very useful. But even for these jobs in the service sector, such as couriers, which is like a very popular student part-time job, in the future they will have to have a basic knowledge of Lithuanian. And of course, if they want to stay in Lithuania after their studies, then they should definitely look into learning Lithuanian as well.
And about the part-time job, of course, dear students and parents, please note that I'm very strict in case of students going for part-time job, but definitely it's your choice. Could you please explain about the legal formalities or regulations in terms of working as a part-time employee in Lithuania, the regulations and how many hours per week they can do the part-time job, and what are the merits, and especially about the demerits as a student. And why I am asking about this clarification is that, of course, I, as a person living here for many years, I know all the regulations, but students and parents and other agencies, they may not be aware about the rules and regulations. For example, if a student is not going to attend the lectures properly, what will happen to them? What will happen to their TRP? And what will happen if you are only focusing on the part-time job, and as a university what you will do? So I think you can give very strict information about this, so that all the future students who are watching this video will be very careful about it.
Yeah, of course. Some students choose to do a part-time job, and that is understandable in some way if they want to support themselves during their studies. But of course, it is very important that the job should not hinder your study process, because still you come to Lithuania, first of all, to study. So it is very important to attend the classes. And when it comes to the legality, right now, at this moment, students can work 40 hours a week. So that is basically a full time. But we know that there are talks in the parliament that in the future this number of hours should be lowered and perhaps should go down to 20 hours a week. So in any case, again, it is very important to focus on your studies rather than a work. And everyone who comes here, if they have to extend their temporary residence permit because it expires, the migration department always inquires the university about their credits, whether they are studying, whether they are attending the classes. So if you are really behind on your classes, if you are failing, then it is possible that your temporary residence permit will not be extended even.
Okay.
Yeah, so for sure, focusing on the classes is very, very important. And also for us internally, we are planning to make attendance mandatory.
Very good. Okay.
Yes, because right now we are checking the attendance. I think it mainly depends on the professor. Some of them are checking it, some of them are not, but in the future we plan to make it mandatory for all of our students.
And approximately minimum, what is expected credit that in a year a student must have if they want to renew their TRP?
They have to have 40 credits.
40 credit. Dear students and parents, please note that you are coming here as an international student. Your primary motive is for studies, not for part-time job or not for migration or doing something else. Universities are providing you the admission for your higher education. And if you are not attending the lectures, if you are not going for the classes, if you are not submitting the assignments, and if you are not following the instructions by the university and the professors, and if you do not have minimum 40 ECTS per year, yes. Next time when you are going to renew your TRP, you will not be able to renew the TRP. Please be very, very careful about this part. And now, along with the same question, I would like to ask you that could you please give a little bit more explanation about, let's say, there is a student who is not going to the lectures, who do not have 40 ECTS, and then, of course, when they are going for the TRP renew, the migration department will get back to you, and then you are writing that, okay, the student is not attending, and the ECTS is, let's say, maybe 28 or 25. Then what is the next step that will be taken by the migration department?
So the migration department will make a decision on whether they would like to extend the TRP or not. So if they for sure get the information that the student is not really an active student at all, they do not attend classes, and they have extremely low amount of credits, then they would make a decision not to extend the TRP. And so the person would have to leave Lithuania, and of course we would have to terminate the study agreement. And yeah.
And in how many days the migration department will terminate the TRP?
Well, the migration department usually takes quite a long time to deliberate and to make their decisions. So I can't tell you exactly how many days, but...
But I heard that sometimes they are not taking much time, and it's a quick decision because they are checking everything. And anyway, dear students and parents, please note that rules are rules, and it is very serious for everyone, no matter if you are a Lithuanian student or Indian student or international student. Please be very careful that your primary motivation of arrival in Lithuania is for higher education, not for part-time, not for migration, and you will not be able to fool the lectures of the university or the migration department. Of course, right now you can do the part-time job per week, 40 hours, but as she said that maybe in the future it may not be 40 hours. So please be very careful about this aspect, and please attend the lecture.